Hello, my starshines. I hope everyone is having a lovely day, night, whatever, wherever you are in the world. Now, getting right into it, this illustration is actually from a TikTok challenge where you're supposed to turn yourself into a deity. And at the time of drawing this, I was really needing some inspiration for my art as I was starting to hit a wall, and this one really helped. Now, I did enlist the help of a friend and fellow artist of mine, Sydney Borden. I will have her Instagram below for anyone interested. She does amazing animal portraits and scenes. She does some other stuff too, but those are like her main go-tos. So if you guys would want to check her out, I highly recommend you look at her stuff. She only has Instagram right now, but she does have like I think a link to her shop and everything if you want prints. So, again. When I say I enlisted her help, it wasn't to actually like draw the image, but actually to help come up with what kind of deity I would be. So I came up with a bunch of traits for her, and then she came up with a bunch of traits for me. Now, after getting, our traits back, obviously, we did talk in the middle, not like we didn't know what the other person was putting. And then, we kind of added our own stuff in and made some refinements. And from there, I figured out what I wanted the look to be, and then I went to drawing. And frankly, I was pretty proud of how this one turned out. And I will say, I'm going to refer to the rest of this as she and her instead of like I, even though it's supposed to be like my traits as a deity and stuff, just because it feels really conceited to do it that way. So, yeah. Without further ado, though, here are my traits as a deity. Now, she's a trickster goddess, protector of women and children, animals too, and deals with the circle of life and decay. Forests are kind of her dwelling. And just side note, I may pronounce these wrong. I don't actually like pronouncing them how they're supposed to be pronounced in general, but for the sake of this video, I will this time. Wendigos and skinwalkers are some of her creations. Any type of really manipulative, tricking, kind of deceptive creatures and spirits. Kind of, most of the time in this case, end up being one of her creations. Her shrines are mainly in dense forest areas, normally surrounded above by fog to keep prying eyes away. As stated before, she's very protective of women, children, and animals. Also, she has a very morbid sense of curiosity at times and has a love for skulls, bones, and preserved bugs, specifically moths, butterflies, and beetles. And of course, a love for crystals, because who doesn't? She's created several trickster-type creatures to keep her forest safe from intruders, with ill intent and to keep the women and children that are seeking refuge in her shrine safe. In order to enter the forest, tributes must be made to guarantee safe passage through. Occasionally, though, if in great distress and desperation, praying to the goddess as you enter, most of the time will do. She's also associated with the full moon because that's where she gets some of her magical power, and as you see in this illustration and the last one, she has a crescent moon on her forehead that kind of glows a little bit. So that's where I assume like it's kind of showing that she's magical kind of thing. Now, some other little things that kind of would be given or can be left as offerings or as possible signs from her or about her being around are like certain animal bones, horns, antlers, skulls, specifically too, especially if you're leaving an offering or you weren't quite sure if they're watching you, would be possums and deer skulls or deer bones and stuff like that. If you're in an area that you keep seeing like little brooks everywhere, mostly a sign that you're probably in her area. She does accept literal silver. She'll take, other little silver things, but if you really want to get on the goddess's good side, literal silver. Again, kind of going with the full moon kind of thing. She also kind of the night stars, things of that. Because she is part of, the circle of life and decay, beetles. And another thing that for some reason, I guess, honestly, I forget why I put this in there, but charcoal is another good offering. Some animal signs that maybe she is around or she is observing you or, or maybe she's aiding you depending on what you're going for. White stags, again, possums, ravens, badgers, scorpions, and raccoons or a coyote. Not a whole pack of coyotes, just one yoti, as that is an anomaly right there. Some other little things that I came up that I felt like would just be kind of, a lot of gods and goddesses have like days, planets, and things like that associated with them, so I kind of made a list of those. So her elements related to her would be water and air. Days of the year would be October 16th and May 1st. ruling planet would be Saturn. The colors related or the desired by her would be black, darker blues, silver, and dark purples. Stones, obsidian, and clear quartz. And plants would be thistles, nightshade, fern, mugwort, moss, and then birch and willow trees. Now, I really hope you enjoyed this rundown and the illustration, and I do have another photo I did of her, and I am more than likely going to do that video next because, like I said, I actually really enjoyed this, and I love drawing things that I can make seem a little more magical. And just a reminder, I am posting all my Inktober's on my Instagram and most of them on my TikTok as well, and both of those are going to be linked down below. Also, if you like my art and you want to see more, I would much appreciate if you could hit that like and subscribe button and maybe leave me a comment down below. I would be very gratefully appreciative. Now, my bees are starting to get ahead of themselves, so with that, that's it for now. I'll see y'all next time. Enjoy the rest of this video and keep bright my star shines and stay spooky. Bye!